Ishmael, the firstborn of Abraham and Hagar, plays a pivotal role in both Judeo-Christian and Islamic traditions. His story is rooted in the Old Testament, specifically in the book of Genesis. In Genesis 12:2, God makes a profound promise to Abraham, saying, "I will make of you a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing." This divine promise is central to understanding the lives of Abraham, his family, and their descendants. God's covenant with Abraham speaks of a future filled with abundant blessings and numerous offspring, a promise that transcends generations. Now imagine the scene. Abraham and Sarah, advanced in age, are given the divine promise of an heir, a miraculous offspring. Yet Sarah had been barren her entire life, and the natural possibility of conceiving seemed impossible. The years passed, and with them grew the couple's doubt and anxiety. Faced with this uncertainty, Sarah devised a plan. She suggested that Abraham take her servant Hagar as a concubine to produce a child, a common practice in their culture to ensure a family's continuation. This decision, born out of impatience and a desire to help God's plan along, set the stage for what would be both a blessing and a source of tension in their household. Hagar conceived, and with that, her status shifted. However, Sarah, feeling displaced and envious, began to mistreat Hagar, leading Hagar to flee into the desert. In the desert, feeling alone and abandoned, Hagar encountered an angel of the Lord. The angel gave her a message of comfort and hope, prophesying that her son would be named Ishmael, which means God hears. This name was a reflection of God hearing Hagar's distress and intervening on her behalf. Ishmael would grow to become the father of a great nation, and God's promise would be fulfilled through him as well. Encouraged by the angel's words, Hagar returned to Abraham's household and Ishmael was born. Abraham loved his son Ishmael dearly, seeing in him the first fulfillment of God's promise. In Genesis 17:19-21, God affirms his plan for both Ishmael and Isaac, the son yet to be born to Sarah. God promises that Ishmael will be blessed, become fruitful, and father 12 princes, establishing a great nation. However, God also makes it clear that his everlasting covenant would be established with Isaac, the child Sarah would miraculously bear. When Isaac was born, it fulfilled the divine promise given to Abraham and Sarah. Isaac's name, meaning laughter, symbolized the joy and wonder Sarah felt after years of waiting. Yet Isaac's birth also introduced a new layer of family tension. Sarah, protective of her son's future, grew increasingly uncomfortable with Ishmael's presence, fearing that he would compete with Isaac for inheritance and blessing. Eventually, Sarah demanded that Hagar and Ishmael be sent away. Heartbroken, Abraham reluctantly complied, and Hagar and Ishmael were cast out into the wilderness. In the desert, they faced death as their water supply ran out. Hagar, unable to watch her son die, placed him under a tree and wept at a distance. But once again, God intervened. An angel called out to Hagar, reassuring her that God had heard Ishmael's cries and renewing the promise that Ishmael would become the father of a great nation. At that moment, God opened Hagar's eyes, revealing a well of water. This divine provision saved their lives and symbolized God's ongoing care for them, even in the harshest circumstances. From that point forward, Ishmael grew strong, living in the desert and becoming a skilled archer. His life was marked by God's continued blessing, as he married an Egyptian woman and fathered 12 sons, the ancestors of various Arab tribes. While the Bible focuses primarily on Isaac as the heir to God's covenant with Abraham, it also shows that Ishmael played a significant role in the unfolding of God's plan. The descendants of Ishmael are known as the Ishmaelites, and they became a great and numerous people, fulfilling God's promise to Hagar. Though tensions between Sarah and Hagar, and later between Isaac and Ishmael, are evident in the narrative, the Bible records a moment of unity between the two brothers. When Abraham died, both Isaac and Ishmael came together to bury their father in the cave of Machpelah, a powerful symbol of reconciliation and respect, despite the complex family dynamics. Ishmael lived for 137 years, and though his cause of death is not mentioned, the biblical record highlights his legacy. The term Ishmaelite became synonymous with the nomadic tribes descended from him, tribes that played a significant role in the history of the region. God's promise to Abraham that both Isaac and Ishmael would be the fathers of great nations was fulfilled demonstrating that God's plans always unfold, even in ways we do not expect. The story of Ishmael reminds us of God's faithfulness and his ability to hear the cries of those in distress. It teaches us that even when human impatience leads to difficult circumstances, God is still sovereign, providing for and blessing those he has chosen. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button to support us. See you in the next video.